All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Big Give 2020 live. My name is Chris Strub, the Giving Day guy. The sun is setting here in San Antonio. You'll see these lights change behind me as we turn on more and more house lights here to try and keep the party going. Again, it's 7 o'clock here in San Antonio, which means we've got less than 5 hours to go. Less than? Fewer than 5 hours. Whatever it is. We've still got one more Mega Match Minute coming up at 11:15 p.m., so you want to stay awake for that as well. That tells me my sound is working, so that's good. And I'm going to throw it over to Jerry, who's actually in our mobile setup studio here on the other side of the room. Jerry, it's good to see you. Let me make sure that we can actually see you first. Hi. They just died again?
Yeah, apparently I put in batteries that were dead.
So I'm going to actually throw Jerry my functioning microphone.
Awesome. Nice. Do you have some more batteries hiding back there?
Okay, good. You know what? We are prepared for every contingency.
Jerry, take it away.
Great. Oh, okay. Well, that may have been on purpose. You don't know. Ouch, burn. So I'm just gonna say hi. I'm gonna let you folks introduce yourselves and just kind of talk about this wonderful organization. I'm sure that many people have seen, your mission around town. I mean, it's very distinct and it's very important. So let's start with who you are, and I'll just give you this thing.
Okay. Hi, I'm Stephanie Fincke, and I am the founder and president of Ian's Foundation.
My name's Christopher Fincke. I'm Stephanie's husband and co-founder of Ian's Foundation.
And so, yes, we started Ian's Foundation in memory of our oldest son that passed away in 2008. It was actually the result of a head injury from a longboarding accident, and Ian was not wearing a helmet. He was out with a group of friends trying out longboarding and started going a little bit, lost control, and hit his head on a curb. Ian was actually in a coma for about 2 weeks and then passed away. It was just very difficult, obviously. I mean, no parent should have to deal with the loss of a child, let alone one that could be prevented. So we started Ian's Foundation in memory of him to try to give back to the community and, really try to prevent any other family from having to go through the tragedy and loss that we did. And so I'll have Chris talk a little bit about Ian's Cup that we started originally.
Sure. So when we first started after Ian passed away, we originally had a organization that generated funds by having an honorary soccer game between Johnson High School and Reagan High School. Ian was a student at Reagan and then went over to Johnson, and it was his first year over at Johnson that he had his injury in 2008. And so the kids came up with a soccer game in his honor that turned into Ian's Cup. And so we're now going on, this will be the 12th year of Ian's Cup, in which we generate scholarship proceeds for both students and for some of the students' charities each year. And with Ian's Cup, as that grew, we branched out into helmet safety and looking at the health and welfare of students in San Antonio. So I'm going to turn it back over to Stephanie, and she could talk more about our helmet safety program.
So we started giving helmets out. We got 501c3 just a few years ago, and with that, it's grown tremendously. So we've given out about 1,500 helmets to date. We've secured another 3,000 helmets for this year that we're getting ready to distribute to schools. We partnered up with SAPD and their bike rodeo program, where they go around to the different schools and do the bike rodeo. And so that has been a great opportunity for us to be able to distribute the helmets to kids that are in need. We actually just ran into a couple kids here that actually have Ian's Cup helmets a little while ago, so that was really neat to see kids that are actually have the helmets and are using them.
Yeah, that was cool. Mercedes is our coworker, and most of the folks that are part of the nonprofit world, and especially nonprofit council members, know Mercedes. She's always the one calling them. But her kids were super excited to see you guys.
Yeah.
So how? I'm just curious because I don't know. I don't have kids, but how do you distribute the helmets? Like, do people sign up for them, or do you have events, or how does that work?
So originally we did mainly through the bike rodeo program, and the SAPD is how we started. And so the schools would put on a bike rodeo. Almost every elementary school within San Antonio has a bike rodeo event. And so we would be told by the school, either through the coach or through the police officer that was handling the program. And then we would either attend the event and distribute the helmets. Right now with COVID going on, things have changed a little bit.
Sure.
So now we're doing just drop-offs of all the helmets at the schools, and then the coaches will distribute them to the students once they're back in session.
That's
Live.
cool.
Yeah.
So how often are you ever just out and about and see somebody with one of your helmets on, and you
Yeah.
just say, wow, that's really cool.
It is. It's probably one of the coolest things to see is when I actually see a child with one of the helmets on. And I actually attended a bike rodeo probably 2 years ago, and we had distributed a bunch of helmets the year before. And it was actually on the anniversary of Ian's passing when I actually attended the bike rodeo that day. And I just remember walking into that school and just the sea of purple helmets coming down the street.
Well, that's cool, right?
It was really cool. Really made it all worthwhile, all the work and all the the effort that we put into this program and the foundation worthwhile. It was neat to see.
Yeah, that's that's taking a really unimaginably horrific thing and doing some good with it, right?
Absolutely.
Which is completely admirable. I don't know if I would be able to do that. Chris, would you like to know anything about Ian's foundation?
I know you can't hear me, but I'd love to see maybe if you want to show the helmets on the camera.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at the helmets.
So we used to just do bike helmets.
So yes, we used to just do bicycle helmets. This is our standard bicycle helmet here.
Yeah.
So this is our standard bicycle helmet, and this is what we had up until this year. Now coming in 2021, this is actually our skateboard helmet. So
Nice.
Our big push in 2020 was to obtain funds to distribute 3,000 helmets. We were able to do that so far. So we have 3,000 bicycle helmets set to go. Our big push for the rest of 2020 and 2021 is to obtain $24,000 to purchase 1,500 bicycle helmets and 1,500 skateboarding helmets and distribute those throughout the skate parks and the schools of San Antonio and the YMCA.
So as you're raising funds during Big Give, folks know that's what it's going for. It's
Correct.
Every $6 that we get, we'll give a bicycle helmet. Every $10 donation goes to a skateboarding helmet. So that's every dollar of every fund that we get is going only to the bicycle helmets and the skateboarding helmets with the funds that we raise through the Big Give.
And if someone donates a larger amount, if someone wants to donate $500 or more, we'll actually put your business or organization logo or individuals. We had one individual whose father used to be a crossing guard, and he passed away, and in memory of him, they donated $500 to put helmets, and we made a nice little sticker for them and their family on those helmets.
Like this is leftover. Phil's Orthopedics gave us a substantial donation, so we've been able to give about 800 helmets out, and we're able to put their logo on that as well. So any donation within the Big Give that's $500 or more, we will contact that person and allow them to put a logo or an emblem or anything that they want on the sticker or on the helmets that we're putting out with their donation.
And our organization is 100% volunteers. Every single dollar, every 100% of all those funds go directly into helmets and getting those out to the youth of San Antonio.
Well, Stephanie and Chris, sorry, this is a little awkward. We're handing off the two mics and everything. We're doing the best that we can. Definitely want to say thank you for coming in. We've still got you on camera, so if you want to put the helmets down and just show us the picture of your son as we sort of sign off here. Obviously, all of these stories are sort of pulling at my heartstrings today, and I think any parent out there would be affected. Even non-parents like Jerry and myself are really struck by this story here. So on behalf of TNC, we want to say thank you for coming in, getting everything set up here in our little in-studio setup, which means thank you also for coming to the training session back in February. Ian's Foundation. Go to thebiggivesa.org and make your donation now. And we say thank you and adios on the video. You guys don't have to run out of here right away, but thank you to Stephanie and Chris. And we appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you so much for having us. God bless. Appreciate it.
All right, so that was Stephanie and Chris Fincke here in the atrium. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, you can give that back to Jerry as we get things set back up. We're going to play a quick little video here for you as we reposition and get back in place for our lineup of live stream guests that'll be coming in virtually here in just a minute. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
All right.
There's Lily.
Hi, Lily.
Yep. Hi, guys.
I'm coming in the room. I don't care what you say.
You can hear now through this, right?
Yeah, but I like having him here so I can see if I... All right. I'm
Lily,
ready.
we'll get started here in just 1 second.
Sure.
You know what your place is missing? Some
What?
Dachshund art.
I know, right?
Ah,
Hey, Chris said to have stuff behind you, so I gathered my stuff.
well,
I completely agree. I need to get a picture of my Dachshund ready so I can share.
okay, well, Jerry, we are
My
live,
earphones in?
so
Don't mind me. I'm just scrolling for Dachshund pictures.
yeah, Lily, whatever you got. So, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Big Give 2020 live. My name is Chris Strub, the Giving Day guy. Jerry is over in the corner here like a millennial staring at his phone.
I'm scrolling for Dachshund pictures.
He's getting
That's
himself
my
ready.
dog. Do you see my Chris? You're not even looking. You're not paying.
I'm seeing it on the screen. It's right in front of me.
That's Virginia. Say hi.
Oh, hi. Jerry, I don't want to waste any more time here.
I'm done plugging my family.
Because one of our mutual friends here is ready to join us. You want to introduce her as I bring her on the screen?
Okay.
Take it away, Jerry.
Hi, Lily. How are you?
Hey, guys. How you guys doing?
We are doing great. You guys are like Big Give rock stars. Every year you come to everything and you're our cheerleaders and you're just totally positive, and Peanut shows up in costumes and it's all kinds of fun. So I'm really curious, the Dachshunds behind you in the various mediums, is that all the same Dachshund, or are these different Dachshunds, or?
They're different Dachshunds. A lot of them are actually Tesla. You can tell with the tongue. So that's, Tesla, obviously. She's everywhere. She's my Dachshund with the tongue. Everybody recognizes her because the one eye on the tongue.
Very good. So what do you want to tell us about Diamond Dachshund?
Well, what I want to get across today is that we are, as always, raising money and saving Dachshunds. That's the whole story. We bring them in. What we do is rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome. So you get them into the rescue, fix them up as best as you can, and then get them into a new home. And what I want to do is introduce you to Marty McFly, who is my current foster right now. Marty actually suffers from IBDD, which is intravertebral disc disease. He came in paralyzed from about here down. He cannot walk, so he drags his back legs, if you can kind of see him. He has his legs wrapped because when he drags himself around, he can mess up his feet a little bit. So he actually has a wheelchair. He has a really great time just scooting around after stuff. He chases falls and he is all over the place all the time. He does not have the ability to hold his bowels or his bladder. So I have to express him. And what he can do is he can use a wheelchair. We do have a wheelchair for him. He gets into it and then he goes wheeling around. He can go in the grass and things like that with a wheelchair on. He really enjoys it. But Marty is one of the dogs that we're hoping maybe we can get surgery for, to maybe hopefully get him walking again. There's no guarantee on that. There's never a guarantee to things like surgery.
Yeah.
But he's just one of our dogs that you can learn about on our Facebook page. It's pretty exciting, the things that we do. Since the last Big Give, this is such a fantastic statistic for you guys. Since the last Big Give, we have had 12 mama dogs come into rescue. From those 12 mama dogs, that is 75 puppies.
Wow.
75 puppies, yeah. And so that's the kind of stuff that you're able to do just because of Big Give. In 2019 alone, we rescued 157 dogs. We adopted out 135 dogs. And the vet care total for 2019 alone was $80,000. That's where our Big Give money goes.
Well, you just took my question away, because I was going to ask you, where does your Big Give money go? So now you rendered me obsolete, basically. You can just keep showing the Dachshund, I suppose.
Our Big Give money goes straight to vet care. That is our biggest expense. It's really our only expense is vet care. It costs
And
a
it's
lot.
it's a huge expense. I mean, just like people doctors, dog doctors, and animal doctors are, very highly trained people that have spent most of their lives learning how to do this. It's not cheap, right? So all that money goes to a great place and to help a lot of, and Marty, whatever's wrong with Marty, or whatever disabilities we may perceive in him, he certainly looks like he's fine with everything. I mean, he doesn't really seem like he's interested in going too far away from the chin scratches he's got going on.
Oh, no, he loves it. And he's actually really funny. He will chase, like I said, if I throw a ball, he will chase it around. Actually, one of his favorite things is to make me play fetch, where I can put, if I'm on the bed or if he's on the couch or whatever, I can give him a toy, and he will take the toy and he will toss it off and make me get it. And it drives me crazy. Because he'll take the toy and he'll play with it, and then he'll toss it off, and I have to go get it for him. Because he just can't get off, It is the silliest thing. But, the other thing he can do is he can go under the couch sometimes. Like, he can wiggle his way like a little worm under the couch to get things out.
Lillie, sorry, Jerry, I'm stealing your mic here because I adore Lillie too. I know Jerry's like your biggest fan, but we got a two-way tie here in the Big Give studio. Lillie, I'm looking both, of course, at the lovely dog on your lap and at your title, social media coordinator. I'm a big social media geek, and it was great to see you at the training back in February. And as Jerry said, you guys have always been one of the most loyal organizations to the Big Give year in and year out. So thank you for doing that. But I want to ask you about the Dachshund people community. I mean, you've got like an army of folks that just love these dogs as much as you and Jerry do. Talk about the power of the community that surrounds you and how you guys are able to turn that into success during the Big Give.
One of the coolest things about the Dachshund community is that they understand each other. We don't have any kind of problem with saying, hey, we're all kind of weird together. And there's no stigma with that within the community. So the cool thing is that whenever you have something going on, and everybody knows it's expensive, you can say, hey, I need some help. And a lot of people are willing to pitch in, just like that. And that's the part of raising money that's a little bit easier. So you put out a call and people are willing to respond. If you go look at, the replies on Diamond Dachshund's Facebook page, you're going to see a lot of people that aren't Diamond Dachshund people saying thank you for people donating. Simply because, we have a whole system of people that are just from all over the country that are investing their time in being cheerleaders and champions.
Yeah, you all do an exceptional job with your networking and your social media-ing and your, heartstring-ing. We are going to have to say goodbye. I'm sorry that our time blocks are so short for this. We're trying to get as many folks to get an opportunity to come on. You guys are great fundraisers too, and you're not far from your goal. So, I can't show bias. That would be uncool. However, I showed a picture of a dachshund at the beginning of the feed. So go give some money to the dachshund people, folks. Diamond Dachshund on thebiggivesa.org. We will see you soon, Lillie.
I love that you say, Lillie, before you go, Jerry, that you can't show any bias. Meanwhile, I have multiple emails in my inbox from like the first and second week of March that were like, can we get the Dachshund cam set up for the Big Give? Like, how do we get a 24-hour live stream where
it's good TV.
Every input would be Dachshunds?
Who does not want to tune in and see a whole house full of Dachshunds?
Yeah. Well,
It's true.
I'm just saying.
You did cheat on the Dachshund though this morning. I saw you get tackled by another dog.
Yeah, the Paws for Purple Hearts. That dog was super cute.
Yeah.
Hey, dogs are great.
Yeah, I love dogs.
One of us hosts did not get tackled by a dog yet today, so I'm waiting. But Lillie, this has absolutely been the next best thing. Thank you so much. We will catch you later, and we've got another guest to come in. So thank you and good luck. Talk to you soon. She's great, isn't she?
Yep. I always enjoy having those folks on.
Jerry, we've got, as soon as she leaves, we should have another guest coming in.
Yep, San Antonio 2030 District.
And there's Elizabeth right on cue.
Hi.
Let me get Elizabeth
Like
up
that
on
was
this.
a perfect transition. Could we do that every time?
Well, she's not on screen yet, but,
But she's present.
she is present. Elizabeth, welcome to the Big Give 2020 live stream. Sorry, we're running a minute or two late, but we'll make sure you get your time. Elizabeth, tell us all about the San Antonio 2030 district.
Sure. So we are a group of property owners who are committed to addressing climate change in the urban built environment. So buildings contribute more emissions, and the transportation associated with buildings contributes more emissions than any other sector. So we focus on commercial property owners downtown, and they reduce energy use, water use, transportation emissions, and stormwater associated with the buildings. So we're trying to get to a 50% reduction by the year 2030. And we focus on properties downtown. Sorry, map. Oh, I don't know if it's showing up.
The other way, there you go. I know we got you a late time slot here, Elizabeth.
There we go. There we go. There's the map. Yeah. So,
Flat Earth Hour, Jerry. No, just kidding. Inside joke.
So for just $20, you can join in you can support us as a geeky gifter, and that will help our data analytics team to develop building level energy reports that will catalyze climate action. So our property owners will be connected with resources that they can use to reduce energy, reduce water, reduce stormwater runoff. For $50, you can be a roadmap maker, and that will help us to help our property owners navigate the way to an EV-friendly infrastructure. There's a lot of red tape that we need to deal with, so we're kind of working with different sectors of the community, the local government, our utilities, to try to figure out how to make EV infrastructure a reality that actually makes sense for a property owner who wants to install EV chargers on their property. For $100, you can be a community connector, and that will help us to create a community of buildings that are grid interactive, that respond to the needs of the utilities. So during peak times, they'll reduce their energy use, and they'll be able to invest in distributed energy generation. So solar energy that's closer to the buildings, and heading towards net zero buildings. And then at the $300 level, you could be a boundary pusher. And that will help us to possibly, maybe, expand the 2030 district concept beyond downtown. The city of San Antonio, in their comprehensive master plan essay tomorrow, identified several regional activity centers. And we'd like to expand this concept into some of those activity centers that have a high concentration of commercial buildings.
Elizabeth, I love how you ran that down. It's so important for the donors to understand where exactly those dollars go. It's like maybe you've seen a couple of our streams and you knew that question might be coming. Mm-hmm. I also love the idea of the boundary pushers. And it appears Elizabeth might be pushing the boundaries a little bit here herself. So if you want to slide like 8 inches back to your left there,
there we go. Okay.
Kind of like pushing the boundaries of the side of the frame. Elizabeth, talk to me about the nonprofit community here in San Antonio and what it means to be a part of something like the Big Give, and what you think a day like this can mean during a really difficult time like 2020.
Yeah, it is a very difficult time. Yeah, so this is our first year to participate, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for having me on the live stream. This is exciting. For me personally, I think it's been really enlightening to learn all of the information about social media. That's made a big difference for me as the executive director. I'm sort of a one-woman show here, so it's a lot to take in, but it's helped me to bump up my social media game just a little bit, and I think that's been a good thing for us to get a little more exposure.
That's good to hear. You know, I mean, part of our purpose here, you know, the main purpose obviously is to help you folks raise money so that you can keep doing more of what you're doing. But you know, definitely a chunk of it is to help you get better at learning how to do things that help you raise money so that you can keep doing what you're doing, right? So I'm glad to hear that, and I'm sure Chris is probably very happy to hear that because he's been a big part of it.
Elizabeth has been doing a wonderful job here.
Yeah, Paige looks great.
Yeah, Paige looks great. Live stream looks great. Love that you had the visual with the map there. I mean, that's right on point, and it really visualizes, you know, what the mission is all about. You got to pardon Jerry and I as we're starting to run out of words here.
Right.
As it is, we're pushing past 7:30. But Elizabeth, thank you for joining the Big Give family. I'd really, Jerry, I would say that it is really a family to be part of the Big Give year after year.
Yeah,
we just saw Lillie, for example.
For sure. I mean, we have some folks that have been doing this all 7 years, and we have, you know, some folks that this is their first year, and we have some folks that took a couple years off and have come back. But you know, I think it kind of goes along with what she was saying is we all, not only are we here to raise money, but we're here to help each other, you know, learn how to be better at what we do. And that's true for not only the Big Give, but also the Nonprofit Council, who I have not plugged really at all day, but I can, you know, put in a shameless plug for the organization that presents this gigantic event every year and for whom I work and, you know, technically for whom Chris works. So we, you know, our entire function is to make nonprofits better at what they do and help the leaders of those organizations learn from each other. So
yeah, and Jerry, I would add that you know, the Big Give is really a celebration of the community, and it sounds like Elizabeth's mission is really key to the long-term sustainability of the community. Would you agree with that, Elizabeth?
Yeah. So COVID-19 has hit us, and it's very overwhelming, of course. But after that's done, we're still going to have to deal with climate change. And I was reading an article, well, it was actually Gates Notes, Bill Gates' blog, I guess. And he mentioned on there that with all this shutting down the economy and everything, no travel, and all of that, we've reduced emissions by 8% this year. So our goal is to get to 50%, so there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And then eventually we have to get to zero emissions.
Right.
So we're heading down that path, and
I support
it's a lot of work. But
it's, you know, it's a bold goal, and it's frustrating. I have a very good friend who lives in San Diego that works in climate change and environmental issues, and she has some really rough days, man. It's a bold goal and a crucial one. I mean, it's really important. So we wish you the best of luck on all of this. Thank you for being here for our first year. We hope that you will continue to come back and join us and learn with everybody else as we get better at what we do.
Sure, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, Elizabeth, have a good night.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. We appreciate it. So, hey, Mr. Pepper.
Mr. Pepper.
We're going to have Pepper come on over and dance behind Mr.
I'm going to turn down the lights. I feel like I'm sitting on the sun.
I wouldn't turn them down too much because we look pretty good. Pepper, if you want to come on over and dance us out for a moment here. Again, we've got real light, which is great. Pepper, you can stay over there on Jerry's camera again. There he is. So Pepper's got some new dance moves. I'm liking this.
I know.
We are going to be back in a few minutes we've got a couple more guests. The Ecumenical Center.
Ecumenical Center.
And then
you don't want to try to say that 10 times fast.
I will be lucky if I can say it one time fast.
Well, maybe you shouldn't.
I should put on the Pepper costume for the rest of the night.
You can let Richard take over the hosting.
There's a human in there?
No.
I know you just
That's Pepper's nickname.
broke my heart. You just ruined it, Jerry.
I'm so sorry, Chris. I'm so sorry that I broke your heart.
Pepper, we'll let Pepper dance us out, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Very good.
Yes, get that black screen. It says starting shortly. Only 7 people.
You mean there's all of us watching?
Half of them are in this room.
Oh, lucky bugger.
See if the grandma's in like you. Let's get the grandma's in. Is your mom gonna log in? It would be hard for her. Oh, the girl likes to do it. She had a hard enough time.
Okay.
Hey guys, can you hear us? Can you hear me now? Can
Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Thumbs up. Awesome. You are 90 degrees this way.
Yeah, would we be able to turn your video horizontal? Would probably look.
Is your phone or your iPad tilted to the side, or I can't hear them. Can you hear them? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
I can't hear them either. Okay, there they go. Yeah, they were muted.
Oh, perfect.
That's so much better. All right, awesome.
Good. Let's get at the ecumenical center.
All right, Jerry, you ready?
Probably not, but that's okay.
All right, well,
Perfect.
good thing our audio is live.
Oh, wow, you
and
guys are doing well.
we're rocking and rolling. Jerry, we're back here live with the Big Give 2020 here
Yes, we
from
are.
our studios. We were here before the sun came up, and now the sun has gone down.
It's pretty much done.
But we've still got 4+ hours to go. We've got plenty of great nonprofits for you guys watching at home here on thebiggivesa.org to support. Jerry, it's been a great day so far. We're well over $4 million raised right now. And after you watch this great conversation that we're about to have with the Ecumenical Center, I think that number is going to continue to crank up.
It should.
I'm very confident
It really should.
that we will continue to move in that direction. So without further ado, let's bring on our new pals from the Ecumenical Center. I'm going to pop them up here on video. 1 second.
They're not popping.
They're popping.
Why aren't they popping?
They're popping.
There they go. Popped. Hi.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, guys. So, can one of you grab the floor and tell us and tell the world all about the Ecumenical Center?
Absolutely. The Ecumenical Center has been around serving San Antonio and South Texas for over 50 years. We provide services like counseling and addiction and health and wellness programs throughout our community. During COVID-19, the Ecumenical Center played a very important role in helping to support our community members, our healthcare workers, our seniors, and our children during this pandemic. Because loneliness and isolation can be such a difficult thing to deal with. And so we need to work with people through wellness conversations, which are basically a conversation with a licensed professional counselor or psychologist over the telephone for 20 to 30 minutes. These conversations are provided free of charge to our community, and it's helping people bridge the gap in a very difficult time. We also had a very special event this past summer called Camp Wellness. It's for our kiddos, and so we had 65 kids that participated in Camp Wellness, and I want to introduce to you, just to my left, two of our.
Oh, we've got some kiddos.
Hey.
Hi.
Really to share with you a little bit about some of the activities that we'll hold up this letter. Our kiddos wrote a letter to our sisters, the Sister Care System, and they were delivering them into the mission. If we don't call our seniors to be able to relate to other people and hear from our young people, so the guys, and also they have something very special to this. It's called a gratitude box. And what we did is provide notes in there, and our members wrote notes about what they're thankful for. Sometimes it's so important to focus on what you're grateful for. Put it back in the box on a day that you don't feel so happy. Open that box and read those things. So the gratitude box plays a special role during this difficult confinement over the pandemic. So say hi, guys. Hi. All right. I'd like to also introduce you to Paula DeMont here at the Ecumenical Center. Elizabeth Moore, who is our music therapist that's going to be our programs that will provide for our healthcare workers in the hospital during this time of COVID pandemic.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for having us.
So since early June, myself, a licensed medicine practitioner and a licensed professional counselor who is also a registered nurse, we have been working in the hospitals with the nurses as well as healthcare and hospital staff to provide some different self-care and wellness tools. So we've all developed these ourselves to make it hard for professionals. So one of these tools that we came up with is a self-care writing journal. So within this are different writing prompts that the nurses or hospital workers can use to kind of process some of their more difficult experiences that they have in big spaces at home. So there's a mixture of prompts and blank pages that they can write whatever they want. We also have come up with some cards that they can get in their Strub pockets. And what these are relaxation prompts, so they can work through these as a breathing exercise either throughout the day or when they get home. Something else that we've been doing is working with some professional musicians who go up to the hospital floors and are here to say stuff, but they provide some music behind the nurses' station, and it found that it's a good change environment, and a lot of nurses come relax to see them
Thank you.
Wow.
We also want to make sure we share with you that a very important part of a counseling session can be just being able to feel loved and to feel like there's love in that. And so we have two of our four-legged friends here today. We have Sister from over here with Larissa, and we have Patty, who's Mr. Superman today, with Layla. They have a special place in many of our hearts because these little puppies can sit with you and relate with you when you're talking to a counselor with issues. So we're grateful that they're a part of our team here to help work with those who may not be feeling quite so cheery as others are during this difficult time. So with that, we want to say to you, we're grateful again for your consideration of a contribution to the Ecumenical Center. And you do the good work that you talked about earlier today. This past year, we're over $400,000 short of where we need to be as far as fundraising. In fact, primarily because of and not only those special events like we've had in the past. So we appreciate your consideration of the public. And what we're leaving you today with a special message from our partner to your business. Right?
My heart to your heart, and my heart to your heart, and my heart to your heart, I'm standing in love. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. I really don't, I don't think I have anything to add to that. Y'all did just an incredible job. I mean, we like kids, we like music, we like dogs, we like helping people. Support Ecumenical Center. And I would say that I looked at you, Paige, and you guys are, you're doing quite well. So congratulations on that. I hope you are able to raise even more money and use it to do all of the things that you're doing that are so important, especially these days. So, you know, thank you on behalf of the community and everybody you help and everybody you serve and everybody you will help. And thank you for being with us here tonight. I don't know if Chris has any parting or final thoughts.
Yeah, I would say, Jerry, that was one of the maybe the most well prepared
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. I
presentation.
Got
we got the camera work, we got the kids, we got the music,
choreography.
we got the dogs.
Yeah,
I mean that was very, very impressive.
A lot of agencies just focus on dogs or music or kids or or prepared script. You guys did it all and you did it well. So props.
Thank you guys. Well, we will. Best of luck with the Big Give 2020, and we'll see you next time. Jerry, that was the team from the Ecumenical Center.
Yes,
so we
it was.
want to say thank you to to everyone over there.
They were polished.
That was fantastic.
They put together a polished program.
Jerry, we're continuing on here. We're going to bring in our next guest here in just a moment. We've got Natalie in the waiting room here. But we do want to, again, say thank you to everyone who has been watching. You can see sort of the wide shot here. Jerry and we're a solid 8, 9, 10 feet apart.
Wide shot.
That's true. Well, there's more pizza back there if we need.
Nothing but junk. Well, that's not true. Yesterday we had a big salad. However, along with the salad, I ate 7 loaves of bread. And I think 4 trays of butter. I put the butter on the bread so that, I didn't eat it by itself. But still, it's not good. That's why I'm sitting down. Please don't make me stand up for a shot again. That was just straight embarrassing.
Well, how's that for a segue? Jerry, let's bring in our next guest here. We've got Natalie from the Esperanza Peace and Justice Center. So Natalie, thank you so much for sticking with us here into the wee hours of the evening. Thanks for staying up. Let's bring Natalie on the screen here.
Natalie is looking beautiful and colorful. She matches.
There she is.
Her clothes match the art in the background. I mean, people are really bringing it here in the later time blocks.
Yes, Natalie, can you still hear us? Audio check? She can. All right, perfect.
Excellent.
Natalie, we've got a video to play that I've got from you here, but before we do that, can you give us the 411? Can you give us some information about the Esperanza Peace and Justice Center?
Yeah. So, thank you all for all the work that you've done today, and thank you to all of our donors, supporters that have given to Esperanza today. We had a goal of $10,000. We did that goal, and so we are now trying to raise $15,000 for our postal programming and critical advocacy work. So yeah, and the Esperanza, for those that don't know about Esperanza, it is a 33-year-old nonprofit in San Antonio, and it is a social art, but also community organizing nonprofit. So it has been a transition to a more virtual programming, contact the world, making our Buena Gente, our community, at all of our events, but Zoom and these type of video, sources are amazing and really helpful during these times because we are still having community meetings, still are organizing, still are creating and organizing programming, all virtually, and we keep gathering our services with things. And yeah, that's a little bit about Esperanza right now.
Okay, great. Well, Natalie, I've got a video that you guys sent over yesterday. You want to tell us what we're about to see in this video?
Right, yes. So the video that you're about to see mostly centers our cultural programming and cultural art work. And so something that is missing from the video is our community advocacy and organizing work. Where shall I start? So, LGBT issues, environmental, we do organize around all issues, issues of working class, lower income communities. And so whether it's housing, whether it's public spaces, we are there for the community to listen to them, to work with them, to try and amplify their voices, and things like the Hastings Bridge, Speech Coalition. I know Graciela Sanchez, the executive director, she was trying to tune in with us but had some trouble connecting, so obviously she's been here 33 years. And I started out intern actually in 2016, and ended up working there, and so I'm going back to school again, and just really learning a lot from everyone there. So I know currently right now we are working a lot around housing on the west side with the Alasan Apache Courts, and of course the UTSA downtown expansion, and just really trying to make sure that the community is involved and knows how that will affect them, and making sure that they are taken care of in the process. And we also, right now during COVID, we have had to kind of adjust, and so we are passing out food boxes and important resources that families and children need during this time. I know that I can just start rambling. I don't know how long I have, but
Well, yeah. I mean, it sounds like you guys do some really awesome work. And so we're going to queue up this video, and then we'll bring you back. This video is a few minutes long, and then we'll bring you back on to say goodnight if you have any parting remarks. How's that sound?
that sounds great.
Okay, perfect. So without further ado, this is a great video, by the way. Here you go.
Awesome. I don't know. I don't know if you could see the thing, but Chris and I were both sitting here jamming. So great video, very well done, and love the music. You know, love the graphics and the story you're telling there. So, todos.
I think, Jerry, that was exactly what we needed to hear at this hour. Both Jerry and I needed to get moving. I hope, again, you could see us dancing here, Natalie. So thank you so much for joining in. Again, sorry about your connectivity issues with the boss there, but please give her our best as well. I know she's probably watching. So thank you, guys. Wishing you the best of luck. Keep on crushing that goal. Hate that we have to cut this conversation short, but maybe our paths will cross again in the future. It was great to meet you, Natalie.
Have a good night, Natalie.
Okay, Jerry.
Okay, Chris.
Jerry, we've got one more live guest.
We have one more live guest.
We have one more live guest, and can you see...
Hey, how many more live guests do we have? Just one?
Cheers.
Cheers. I think. Interact with video to expand. Dan, I don't know if you can hear me, but I cannot see you. So if you could possibly either activate your camera or refresh your... just hit refresh on your switcher room.
As we get Dan Andrews from Salsa to refresh... cheers, indeed. We want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching our live streams today.
My wife has been watching.
What's her first name again?
Celeste.
Celeste, I knew that.
She thinks we're funny.
She thinks I'm funny.
Oh. Ouch. Burn. Is that getting me back for the Strub burn earlier?
I had to get you back before.
All right, fine.
So hello, Celeste, and hello, everybody else who's watching.
You know what? She thinks I'm funny. She tells me every day. That's why we're still married.
All
funny.
right, I gotcha. Fair enough.
Certainly not because of my svelte figure.
I love that our transition to Natalie was you bragging about all the bread that you've eaten in the last 24 hours.
I'm just saying, bread is an endangered species around me lately. You don't want to get it too close. I will eat that in a second.
We are hoping if Dan can hear us.
Dan, maybe sign out and sign back in.
We need Dan to hit that refresh button.
Yeah, we've got some time on the other side that we can push into.
Yeah, we're in no big rush. Jerry,
yeah.
As we wait for Dan, there is a prize whose eligibility window just opened. Why don't you tell us what that prize is?
Yeah, it's not bread, because if it was, I would be winning it. So we have a way back like 1,000 years ago when we planned Big Give for 2020. We had this super cool thing that we'd never done before, and we've never given away a prize for donors themselves. So we thought it would be really cool to have a prize that we could give to donors, right? And so we set up this great package, and it's a Spurs package, and tonight was supposed to be a Spurs game. Well, not tonight. Let me read. The original Big Give on March 26th, there was a Spurs game scheduled for that night, and we were going to run this prize during the Spurs game, and it's a Spurs package, and you can win 2 seats in the SWBC box for a Spurs game, and a signed Tony Parker jersey, and a night at the St. Anthony Hotel, and it's just super cool, right? Well, then everything went to crap, and the Spurs weren't playing anymore, but we still have the prize, and seats are still good for a Spurs game whenever that ends up happening. So, tonight, between 8 a.m., which started 13 minutes ago, and 10 p.m., that 2-hour window, the largest single donation in that time period will get this prize. It's a cool prize. If I hadn't spent all my money on bread, I would probably try to win it. But if you are a Spurs fan sitting in the SWBC box wearing your signed Tony Parker jersey and then going after the game and staying at the St. Anthony Hotel. And I don't know if you've stayed at the St. Anthony Hotel, but that place is legit. We were there last year. Chris spent like half the time in the swimming pool broadcasting, like from in the swimming pool, right?
I thought you were asking me if I had ever stayed at the St. Anthony Hotel. I was like, yeah, I was with you at the Big Give last year.
Well, that's
so
what I'm
yes,
saying.
I have.
You have.
It was awesome. I have a St. Anthony hat that I've hung permanently on my wall in the Fly the W studio back at home.
And I believe a bathrobe and some towels.
The bathrobe.
Some slippers.
Yeah, I took the
a
mattress.
coffee maker. It says St. Anthony on it. Like, would you like a cup of St. Anthony coffee? You didn't hear that, St. Anthony. If you're listening, that didn't really happen.
No, we are. And by the way, love the team at the St. Anthony. We'd love to be back there sometime.
And love the team at Century Heights. I mean, it's like 1 billion o'clock, and we're still broadcasting from their atrium. So I'm sure that's
now we
normal.
really aren't we glad that John let us borrow these lights? What would we do without these lights?
We would have been not looking so good. It would have been like Night of the Living Dead.
So I don't know if Robert and Dan from Salsa can hear us, but now there are 2 blank screens here with us, which probably means, and again, fellas, we're going to try and troubleshoot this with you guys in real time because I can't hear you guys either. When you join the room, you have to authorize the camera and the microphone to work there. I see that you're texting. I got a text from Larissa that says, online donations only or online and offline gifts count for that donor prize.
Can you hear me now?
Can Jerry clarify?
Oh, hi, yes. Hi, Robert.
Hi.
Hey, Robert, we see you too. We're still working on Dan's Hollywood Square there. I don't know if you can see, but Robert, it's great to meet you. While we wait on Dan to refresh and everything, Robert, why don't you tell us, give us the 411 on salsa?
Sure. The San Antonio Legal Services Association is dedicated to volunteer attorneys with pro bono clients who need pro bono legal services. We have been around quite some time. We were formerly known as the Community Justice Program, and now we're an independent organization. We've had a lot of success recently in innovating in this pandemic, and one of the examples of this was our ability to create a virtual platform that allowed volunteer attorneys to meet clients via Zoom or conference calls. Clinic that we did when we volunteered to help frontline hospital workers at Christus Santa Rosa and University Hospital. In a matter of about a couple of weeks, we were able to get 400 attorneys to volunteer to provide wills and end-of-life documents for these frontline hospital workers. When the project was finished, we had provided wills, powers of attorney, and other end-of-life documents for over 350 pro bono clients. We would not have been able to do this had we met face-to-face. The amount of legal hours that we were able to leverage with this remote platform really surprised even us. We've never seen anything like this before. We're now pivoting and using this same platform to get into other areas like tenants' rights, where we're partnering with legal aid in the city of San Antonio to provide assistance to those facing eviction because they can't pay their rent. And while some of those issues have been pushed off by the CDC moratorium until the end of the year, many tenants are still facing a lot of legal issues, and landlords are still seeking eviction. So we're very much in that space right now. Also helping on the domestic violence side, where we're creating programs to assist pro bono clients who desperately need assistance in the domestic violence area, and families who need to probate wills. This pandemic has created a great need because it's caused a lot of deaths, and now families need to probate wills so that they can pay their bills, so they can buy food. And the great thing about all this is that courts are allowing us to appear virtually. So from the comfort of an attorney's home, we can now advocate on behalf of clients in any one of these areas. we're anticipating that we're going to dramatically grow our footprint and the number of hours that volunteers are able to provide pro bono clients. And we hope that with the assistance of people who are listening in and are wanting to support this effort, that we'll have the resources to grow this area.
I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. It's a huge. I mean, that's just such a huge. It's a huge deal, right? Like, how do you even tackle that?
Yeah, it's a heavy issue. It's one of those things that, everything has changed here in 2020, and
that's for sure.
Speaking of changes, we've got Kelly in the room. If you see Jerry and I texting, we're working on trying to get some other members of Salsa in here with us. Kelly has made it in. Kelly made the cut. Kelly, it's great to meet you. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you, yes. Can you hear me?
We can. So Kelly, welcome to the show. Tell me, Kelly, what a donation specifically means to Salsa here during the Big Give 2020.
So a donation to Salsa means a the community care company. The clinic and the other things that Salsa provides for the vulnerable population in San Antonio. So veterans and also potential clients with disabilities. So one of the areas that I found a great opportunity to volunteer and give back to the community to provide legal services for clients who have disabilities and need legal assistance with their families, provide supported decisions making, provided support for them making decisions in certain legal aspects. So if a member of the community has a disability and they need help communicating with their bank or with a doctor or with their maybe with their administration or other medical providers is another big example. A lot of times they might need their assistance with a family member communicating with their bank, with their doctor, making decisions, to make those decisions themselves. Sometimes they need that support. And so this clinic was able to provide documents that shows that those clients can have their family members speak their they're legally authorized to help support the client in making those decisions rather than making those decisions for them. So what we would see in a guardianship, which is a much more strict and difficult legal process, these documents would help clients with disabilities make decisions on their own with the support of their family. So one of the that also was able to provide during the pandemic is the most one of the clients with disabilities, especially the documents around that. I was able to help a client who was wheelchair bound and had difficulty communicating in the way that you and I are communicating. And needed assistance from his mother to kind of pinpoint what he was feeling and what he was looking for in his legal document and trying to come to it. So this is also a remote unemployment process and it's trying to grab the work and the client meeting rooms and communicate with them with their picture. That's what also really provides is accepting that work of if we want to go back to the community, maybe we need training and maybe we need help and contacting the clients and getting coordinated. And that's really incredible. Coordinating, connecting, finding the need help with things you have to understand.
Wow.
Robert, do you have anything to add? Did Robert mute himself?
Can you hear me?
There you are.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
I should mention the fact that we do a lot of work with veterans. I was hoping Dan would come on. He has a great story about his work in helping a veteran with PTSD avoid homelessness. By visiting with the veterans, recognizing that he had PTSD and recognizing those issues, he was able to work with the landlord explained to the landlord what the problem was. The landlord was seeking to evict him because this veteran was having problems with some of the residents at his apartment. And as a result of Dan's intervention, he was able to convince the landlord that accommodations should be made for this veteran who was working through some really serious issues. And really, but for Dan's efforts, this veteran would have ended up on the streets. He would have ended up homeless. And so there's just countless stories like that we're able to, our volunteers are able to tell. We really are working to grow this organization so that we can continue to provide this service because the need is escalating in a dramatic fashion. We expect in the first and second quarter of next year that the pro bono need is going to be really doubled, tripled from where we are, and we're going to get into areas that we hadn't gotten in before. So we're hoping to work with our partners. The City of San Antonio has given us some grant money so that we can work on housing issues, and we're looking to get some money from the county to work on the domestic violence and the wills issues, because families are in probate court saying, I can't pay my bills, I can't buy food because mom passed away, and we need to get access to her account, we need to get access to the house to be able to sell it. So these are really significant issues, and there really is a dramatic need, and we're hoping to fill that need in our community.
Well, Robert, thank you so much for joining us. I apologize for the connectivity issues. I think Robert's video might have frozen there, but we could hear you just fine. Actually,
yeah, we got the audio, so that's
good. And we want to say thank you to Dan for all of his great work as well. Okay, now Robert's video is back. So, Dan, if you're listening, I think Robert spoke very highly of you there and of your work. And of course, there are very few things these days in America, Jerry, more important than helping out and respecting our veterans.
Absolutely. You know, and I'm reading through their site here, and they do a lot of work to help prevent homelessness, which of course is important to me because that's the sector that my wife works in. And there are just, I mean, when you look at how many things there are in our lives that require some sort of legal advice or help or preparation or oversight or, you know, whatever it may be, it's just, I mean, it seems like an endless, I can't even keep track of it or deal with it, right? And I have the means to, like, hire an attorney.
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, it's
important stuff.
Almost, it's a bottomless well of things that these folks can assist with and help out with. So
we encourage everybody who's watching to go check out Salsa. We see we've got Sarah in the room now. Hi, Sarah. We've got about 30 seconds for you, so I apologize for that. But Sarah, tell me something that I don't yet know about Salsa that you've worked very hard to prepare for and got in here to let us know about.
No worries. So 2 things. People can help in 2 ways. They can donate and they can volunteer. If you're going to donate money, $100 will help prepare a will for a low-income cancer patient. $350 will help Salsa put on a veterans clinic. Every single dollar makes a difference for people in your community. So go to www.sa-lsa.org and find out more.
Sarah, that was wonderful. Thank you for getting in there. Robert, Sarah, Dan, Kelly, thank you guys all for your collective patience. Again, this is the last guest of our day, so sorry if our candle is running
official guest
running a little low here, as we've been live streaming for about 12 and a half hours since we got started here. So thank you for your collective patience. Best of luck the rest of the night, and glad we were able to get you guys on. So we'll say good night to Team Salsa. And
thank you for your efforts and your help in this effort.
Thank you so much, Robert, for your patience.
Keep up the good work, folks.
Coming on to last but very not least here. So we will say adios. Jerry, we're getting down to it here.
That's fine. I mean,
And by the way, just quick housekeeping note: if Dan is watching, we need Dan to exit the switcher room. Dan, I'm still seeing Dan technically in the room.
Dan's just hanging out,
even though he never actually made it. Maybe Dan will show up here in the next couple seconds, and then we'll say hi to Dan.
Yeah, so he can be like Salsa 2.0.
But if Dan is listening, we need Dan to exit out of that switcher room.
And I have another housekeeping thing, and I have to give a huge shout out to, and we've done this, but we need to do it again. We need to give a huge shout out to GiveGab, and specifically our project manager Larissa, who's probably hasn't slept since the site officially opened last night at midnight. And I think that she's literally watched every single minute of live broadcast we've done, because she's texted me like 10 times correcting me and making suggestions. And so when we were talking about the live donor prize, she of course texted me and said, hey, is it only online donations or is it online and offline? No, online only. This only counts for online donations because we have to be able to see them in the system and verify them. So keep that in mind. If you donated $100,000 offline to win the Spurs prize, you might want to just let that organization know that you're going to run it through the site instead. So
sounds good. I love the Giving Day geek speak. A lot of people see the Giving Day guy. So my website is givingdayguy.com. And
nice branding.
Larissa just texted me, hey girl, hey, in all caps. So apparently Larissa is still listening. And then she says, oops, that was for Jerry.
I'm not sure which way that.
Can we?
Oh, there it is.
Can we text Larissa the link to join in?
Well, I told her we were going to bring her in, so I think this is actually the perfect time to bring her in. We've got the lion's share of the day behind us, and she's busted her butt to make sure that this was successful, not just once but 3 times this year. Everybody was ready to go on March 26th, and it doesn't mean that the workload was any less because it didn't happen. And then we did it again in March and April and May, and now we're doing it again today. And I don't know if she got a raise to do it 3 times, but I doubt it.
She does deserve a raise.
She does deserve it. Charlie Mulligan.
Charlie, if you're watching, pay Larissa more.
Give Larissa a raise. She's keeping clients for you and doing a good job of it.
Again, I've spoken a couple times throughout the day about the other giving days around the country.
Did you send her the link, or am I supposed to?
I sent her the link.
Okay, all right.
Did she just say, send me the link?
Why? I don't know. You said you were going to send her the link.
She says, oh man, technology, figuring this out.
Whatever. She's like a techno whiz.
Finish my thought here. Hold on. So Next Thursday is Give for Good Louisville. It's, as Scott was saying before, Louisville. You guys in San Antonio consider Louisville like a sister city in many ways, because of Molly and Jan and Katie and in a prior life, Kara, and the whole team over in Louisville. And it's been really cool for me personally to get a chance to go to these different places. Oh, Jerry, guess who's here?
Oh, sweet. There's Larissa. And she's wearing a big Give shirt. Well branded, Elle.
Thank you. I don't know how the lighting is in here.
You've got side profile lighting.
If you need some spare lighting, we've got the brightest lights of all time here in front of us. I don't know if you can tell on the video.
Feel when they're out on the highway, it's like super dark at night, and then they run out and they see the lights. They're like, oh.
Right? That should be our GIF right there.
Be like, I didn't put any makeup on.
Larissa, we'll ask you to indulge us with some feedback about the live streaming stuff that we've done today in a minute. But first, give us an update, big picture on how you think the Big Give is going overall. I know that you've been working with the Big Give team for several years now. And, the Big Give, of course, is GiveGab's favorite giving day in the country. We've heard you say that many times.
You're going to get her in trouble. You can't say that.
Larissa, how are things going on the GiveGab side?
Oh, things are awesome. It's definitely different this year, since
COVID, and so having to handle our giving days totally virtually. I mean, we were doing that already, but for someone like Big Give, where we've been there in person since the beginning, we've had to make some adjustments. But giving days have been really, really successful. This past spring, we've seen a ton of growth with giving days. And the Big Give is no different. You guys have been doing awesome this year. I've been watching, I have a bunch of reports on the back end to see like trends and how gifts are going and how online traffic is. So I've been watching that a lot.
This is why you and Mercedes are so close, because both of you like, watching that stuff. I don't like numbers. They don't get along with me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And we have the same hair. We look alike.
Oh, I thought you meant you and I. I was like, well, it's not quite that bad yet. Yeah, no, you and Mercedes have we tried to get Mercedes to come on camera earlier and she poo-pooed it. So it's all right. She had too many spreadsheets. She had spreadsheet vision.
She did. I probably gave them to her.
So yeah, I mean, Larissa, I'm not just giving you a shout out because we're getting slap happy. You've been doing a great job of keeping us on the rails today and when things tried really hard to go off the rails. There were a couple minutes there I was pretty sure it was just going to tip over, but that's why we have you, and that's why we will eternally sing praises of you as our project manager and of GiveGab as our technology company, making us look like we know what the heck we're doing.
So Larissa, as we get Larissa back in the very center of the frame there, I want to ask you a semi-serious question. Jerry mentioned, of course, the Big Give was supposed to take place back in March, and I listened to the Giving and Gabbing podcast the other day with Scott, where he and your team were talking about the transition to an emergency relief platform. So can you talk a little bit just from the GiveGab side about kind of what that kind of looks like? There might be other giving days. Hopefully we never have another crisis like what we face this year in the future, but it sounds like this is something now that GiveGab might be able to do now that you've done it a few times, including here in Gainesville. Like, what was that like, big picture, and how do you think really the San Antonio community really embraced that sort of longer term emergency giving, that 24 hours stretched over 10, 12 weeks or so? What was that like from the GiveGab perspective?
Well,
exhausting.
Lots of weekend calls. But I will say, I think we knew that a lot of changes were going to be coming. We didn't really know what until it hit us. So I think it was a testament to our awesome team and our awesome leadership, just how we were able to pivot so quickly and come up with different solutions for our partners. Not everybody did the same thing. Some people decided to just do a relief campaign. Some people postponed their day. A couple canceled. And that's just the reality of it. So it was a hustle for quite a few weeks. And then I think everybody kind of found their groove. And so it was really awesome to see too, a lot of our partners, just how dedicated they are to the community. And they were able to make a choice that was really good for the best fit for their nonprofits and for their team. And so it was actually a lot of fun working with the Big Give on it. Obviously it was not a fun situation and an unfortunate situation that we had to make these pivots, but it was a fun challenge, and the Big Give team was awesome throughout the process. So they say that they bother me, but they don't bother me. They're never bugging me.
I'm pretty sure there were a couple times that we bothered you. I mean, maybe most of the time, not so much, but I think I may have texted you at midnight with some inappropriate language about something that wasn't working. So that counts as bothering.
I mean, and we joke about bothering, and I was, in case anybody didn't pick up on this, I was being sarcastic a few minutes ago about Larissa declaring that the Big Give is the best giving day ever. Of course, Larissa and GiveGab work with a gajillion giving days around the country, and I actually work with some other giving days too. So if Molly and Leslie and Megan are watching,
yeah, but next week Larissa will say Molly's day is her favorite. So I mean, it gives it's like a baton. We just pass the favorite giving day whoever's up next gets the baton.
I'm gonna light the shirt on fire when I get home and
well
throw on my Louisville colors. No, I'm just kidding. I love.
Maybe if you could just wash it and fold it instead, that would be better.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris.
Oh, you're supposed to wash clothes? We are at the you're supposed to wash clothes hour of the Big Give now. We're 4 hours past flat Earth hour.
We're to the domestic help.
I think the bigger picture lesson here is that, as you can see with Larissa, Giving Days, not just for us, me and the Nonprofit Council and GiveGab, but for all the participating nonprofits as well. Let me put my name up here for a second. It's all about relationships. Like, I know, Larissa, you were watching Lillie before from the Dachshund organization and Diamond Dachshund, and really the magic of that organization is that she's put in the work to build hundreds and hundreds of relationships that on a day like the Big Give can turn into those donations. And that's what we really encourage. And that's so much of what live streaming during a Giving Day is about too. That we want you, the viewers at home, to feel like you're building a relationship with so many of the people that you're seeing here on a live stream like this. And we hope that those relationships turn into a long-term thing. That's what happened with me and Armin. That I met Armin in San Diego back in 2017, and I was just getting started in the Giving Day space, and Armin was like, "Did you know there's a Giving Day in San Antonio?" And I know this guy Scott, and so I don't think without Armin's help that I would ever have even been introduced to Scott. And of course, if you know Scott, which of course the three of us do very well, that Scott is also all about these relationships and the importance of that. So think about that as you're considering your strategy for, the Big Give 2021. If you're watching this as a nonprofit and you're like Elizabeth from before and you're like, oh, I'm just getting my feet wet in the social media space. Well, remember that all this really is relationship building using video. That's really all it comes down to. And whether that's done publicly like we're doing on the website, or, Larissa had a Zoom call with these guys yesterday, and I swear the three of the TNC team just flocked to the computer because Larissa was up on the big screen. It was cute to see. I'm like, they don't run over to the screen when I'm on the Zoom calls. So I gotta do better at this. Jerry, I'm not going to keep Larissa on camera here all night, but any parting words for our pal other than, I've been joking all week that I wish I had a little sign that said, like, wish you were here, because it really is not the same without.
No, that's a bummer.
Larissa, but.
It speaks to the efficacy of their, sorry, I'm bringing out the vocabulary.
Efficacy. I had efficacy on my Jerry Moore bingo card.
On the bingo card. I knew it. I shouldn't have said that. It speaks to the efficacy of their programs that even without somebody here, we've been able to navigate this day and, sidestep a few, I wouldn't say they were landmines, but a few challenges that hopefully none of you out there even knew about if we're all doing our jobs, and I think we did. But, in the past we've had, when we started out with GiveGab, we had, a table of people, and then it was several people, and then it was a couple people, but this year we had no GiveGab people here in person, which is both a bummer energy-wise and just kind of a bummer as far as feeling, the security of having, but of course we had nothing to worry about.
It is, and we joke, but it's heavy emotionally, that I know that for Larissa too, this is a day that we look forward to all year long. And
sometimes several times in a year. It's
something that I know the nonprofits all look forward to. And so, as we sign off here with Larissa, I just wanted to tell everyone watching, not just here in Bexar County and around South Central Texas, but no matter where you're watching from around the United States, especially now, and I've been saying this for years, as has the GiveGab team, your community needs a Giving Day. And the young lady to my left, right? Like, you should email Larissa and be like, hey, I want to start a Giving Day in, I should pick a city that doesn't have a Giving Day, Chattanooga, Is there a Chattanooga Giving Day? I don't know. But wherever you may be, you should contact GiveGab immediately and start getting your Giving Day for 2021 on the schedule. I'm sure that Larissa and the team at GiveGab would love to have that conversation with you as soon as tomorrow. Maybe wait till like tomorrow afternoon.
maybe next week.
Maybe next week, or maybe after Give for Good Louisville.
Yeah. All right. In October, don't email GiveGab in October. That's what we're
really,
saying.
Jerry, I think that the Big Give has been a big asset to the entire community of San Antonio.
Well, we certainly hope so. And you've touched on some themes that, this isn't, and I've tried to say this a couple times throughout the day. And this actually isn't even my first Giving Day that I've worked for. I've been in this space for quite a while. And, at the heart of it, it's not just about raising money. The money's great as a tool to make other things happen, but all of the real meat and bones of it are the relationships and the capacity building and the training and the information and, the building up of each other and the reinforcing and the, reassuring. I mean, when you're in a space that's constantly on quicksand, at least for me, I would say one of the most valuable things about having something like this is to get reassured by all of the other people that are in the quicksand with you that you're not going to sink and die. And that may be more poignant this year. Well, not maybe, it is. That's a more poignant thing this year than it's ever been, at least in my lifetime. So that's the heavy segment of the Big Give for tonight.
Larissa, we got that out of the way earlier.
If you had Chris and Jerry almost cry on camera on your bingo card, you can check that off.
Yep.
I've cried a few times today.
I haven't, though.
It really is heavy stuff. Larissa, is there anything you want to add before we let you go for now and then maybe reel you back in 2 hours?
I'm just so excited, that it's the Big Give, obviously, and, it's been really fun to watch all the nonprofits and how well they've been doing and all the social media, and so just a big shout out to them and all the hard work they put in, especially with limited resources and having to change strategy and having to deal with their own challenges separate from just fundraising campaigns. So kudos to participating in the Big Give. It's been really fun to watch them shine. So good job, everyone. And I love you guys.
So So Larissa and for everybody else that's watching, we're going to come back at 10:15, which is in about an hour and a half. Chris and I are going to go get some food.
Well, let's say adios to Larissa. We'll let her go.
I want Larissa to know that we're coming back at 10:15 because she thought we were coming back at 11, and it's going to be 10:15.
Okay, so we'll come back.
We'll come back at 10:15, just so you know for the feed.
It is Jerry changing things on you. That is what he's doing, but he's trying to do it in a butter her up way so that it doesn't seem like we're creating more work.
There's a reason for it. We're gonna give away the donor prize, which we want to do,
okay.
And then we're gonna try to generate just another hour of like super intense excitement for the 11:15 match minute.
Yeah.
Magic minute. I mean, it's a match minute, but it's a magic minute, so it's a match minute plus, right? And then I think we're probably gonna call it a night at that point. So.
Thank you, Larissa. We will continue to text you. And actually, even better, you continue to text us as we screw things up and let me know that I'm breaking things, and I will fix them right away.
Got it.
Let's try not to break stuff.
We will chat soon. Thank you, Larissa. Again, it's Chris and Jerry here, and we will get my name up on the screen as I talk. Jerry, anything else to add here before we shut this stream down and we come? So we're also going to try and mix in or at least I'm going to try and mix in a Facebook Live. So if you're watching on YouTube and you aren't connected with the Big Give on Facebook, where did that even go? Put it up here. Facebook.com/BigGiveSA. There it is.
There you go.
Facebook.com/BigGiveSA. I'll jump on Facebook Live here in a little bit as well as we count down these final hours.
I got to stretch.
Jerry's got to
stretch. Anybody was wondering, the chairs we've been sitting on for the last 13 hours are metal. There's nothing. I mean, it's not like
Oh, you know what we can do? Jerry, here, turn your camera just a little bit more. Look at what we can finally do now. We can do orb cam.
What are we doing?
Jump out of your chair.
Oh, the orb thing.
This orb thing has been just fascinating to me. I see it. So
I think we're going to have to take a remote cam up there, aren't we? I can't pick the orb up. We have to go to the orb. You want this thing?
Yeah, grab that camera for me.
I'll take a fisheye.
Jerry's got the camera. Oh, you need a mic. You need a mic. We can't hear you unless you have a mic. Here, take this mic.
What am I doing?
I don't even know what we're doing here. You should have given me the camera. Here, give me the camera. All right, here you go. Oh, wait, I'm gonna turn this around.
I don't know what Chris has in store here. This is. Am I supposed to be like?
Tell us, Jerry. Tell us the etymology of a pepper. Tell us the etymology of this orb.
Wow.
Is there a story behind the orb?
Well, this orb is from 1950.
You mentioned that it's hardwired in there.
It is. It's actually. I was so disappointed yesterday. I'm like, yes, we can put this on our table. It'll be super dope. No, it's attached. It's hardwired into the ground. I thought this was like one of those IKEA orbs, but no, this was recovered from a Frank Lloyd Wright project that was never finished in San Bernardino County, and there were 3 of these orbs. We were lucky enough to get one for our project here, called the Frank Lloyd Wright Atrium San Antonio, or FLWASA.
Awesome. Well, Jerry, thanks for climbing up there to the orb. This is totally screenshot worthy. So
Nice.
we'll grab a screenshot of that as we bring the camera back over here.
Oh. I just need to not kill myself getting back down off of here in the dark.
Jerry is climbing back down from orb area. I think we're back. I don't know what just happened, but signing off here, it's Chris Strub and Jerry Moore. And